Oh my God. I almost had a perfect intro.
Sundays with Sin is sponsored by Sweet Perfection. Sweet Perfection is a family and veteran-owned small business that sells freeze-dried candy. They have a number of options on their website, and the best part is, if you want something they don't have listed, you can contact them directly and make a special order. Go to Sweet Perfection, PUFFECTION.com and use code SINX at checkout for 10% off your order. That's SIN, SINNX. Welcome in, everybody, to episode 34 of Sundays with Sin. I have here with me a fellow St. Louis native. I am DJ Epic. Go ahead and introduce yourself to us. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Oh, I am DJ Epic, content creator, professional DJ, a man of the people, if you will. Former stand-up comedian. Oh,
I didn't know that about you. Wait, no, I think right. I did know that.
I mentioned it before. That's
Probably.
really where my entertainment. That's where I really started. I was a stand-up comedian even before I was a DJ.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm a variety streamer. A full, like I said, I DJ about three times 3 nights a week at least. Play a lot of Fortnite, play a lot of I try different games, but do a lot of shorts and reels and different various content.
That's just you're really good about pushing out like all forms of content. I've seen that, like, you posted out on Twitter a lot. I've seen a lot of the short little clips you've done there. And I think I even, if I'm not mistaken, I think I just followed you on TikTok because I came across your videos on TikTok.
Yeah, I push a lot of TikTok. I'm funny because I'm relatively new to pushing content on Twitter.
Yeah.
Past year, I've really, actually past 6 months, really pushing content on Twitter. So I wasn't really active on Twitter whatsoever. And now that's where I'm meeting so many amazing fellow creators and really building. So I'm trying. It's hard to juggle though.
It's tough, man. It's tough. What is this? What you do, like, full time, is strictly content creating, or do you have a job in the real world, as some like to refer to it as?
So I do keep a job in the real world. I do work in corporate America in compliance and analytics. But one of those things with me, people always ask me, how come you never go DJing full time? But 401k, insurance, those things. So
yeah, those are some things. When you get older, those are kind of important.
Very, very much so. That's why I always have respect for anyone that does it full. If you're a full-time content creator, full-time DJ, I have the utmost respect, because that grind is different. We don't have a check to rely on at the end of the day.
It can be kind of scary because, I thankfully, I have Negan, who I help him run the business, but like, he's doing all the work of it. And, we have the HVAC business, and I started picking up more with my social media marketing, but I've really used all my talents in that, my degree in that, here with content creating. And so I've been completely absorbed in this and doing the podcast, and then trying to do some other forms of content. Like, we started with making custom overlays for the community. We've done like little videos on like Saturday mornings of the showing my process of doing short form content, like how I get my clips, how I how I piece everything together. But that has, if it weren't for Negan have the full-time position, I don't know if this is something that I would be able to do as much as I am doing it, like as much as I'm putting into this. I don't know if that's something I'd be able to do on top of having 3 kids.
Oh yeah, that's even that has to be a full-time job in itself for you.
It is.
Yeah, and then I have to also mention Breach, a company started by two of my good friends, Ronnie and Tiffany. They do it. Breach does emerging tech to kids K through 12, and we started content creation last year. So I work with them, VP over their creative and content. Do a lot of activations and partnerships with various brands and other companies, like the UFL, the Battlehawks, our team here in St. Louis.
Yeah.
So we do an activation every home game there with them. So that's amazing. We do a gaming center there. We do VR experiences, play-by-play experiences with the fans. So that's another thing. So it's a lot of hats. It's very
now
busy.
Is that what you do with the Battlehawks? Is that tied into your full-time position, or is that tied in more towards the DJing aspect?
No, that's with the content creation. So that's with Breach. So Breach is
Breach. Okay,
that I work with. Yeah, that was my friend's company that I work with. So that's tied in there. That's a activation we have with them. This is our second year doing it.
That's right.
So
We
this year
talked
we're
a bit
doing
about
more.
that at Loot Fest.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's amazing. We do a lot of even off seats, like so even off games. So sometimes we'll do stuff with like Boys and Girls Club where they come into the stadium on an off
Mm-hmm.
day, like a Friday, and they do on field things with the players, and they come in. The players will come play Madden with them. So we do things like that as well. We do community outreach with the Battlehawks as well. So it's been an amazing experience. Uh, it's great meeting so many people, doing things for the community, helping the kids out. It's been great. But yeah, so that's separate. That's why I said it's various hats, various
Yeah,
hats.
yeah. So take me on this journey a bit. How did you get into content creation and when did you get into content creation?
It's funny because when you look at the way content creation is now, I believe it really started as a kid for me
Mm-hmm.
in the aspect. So when I was a kid in grade school, um, a lot of times during recess they would let us do creative things. So what
Mm-hmm.
I would do a lot of times if I didn't feel like going outside playing kickball, I would write stories and like comic books. And the teachers,
Oh,
if I did good during the week, they would let me write a play and I would act it out. I would get kids to do it on Fridays. So that's kind of where they started. Like, and I'm talking, this is like first and second grade. Like those creative juices started flowing. And then as far as like just current state of it, definitely 2015 as far as the gaming and creating content. Being a DJ, getting home at 3 or 4 in the morning, I deal with a lot of anxiety because I'm introverted, but I'm also very entertaining. And I know it's weird because being an introvert, I'm
introverts are
able.
probably some of the most creative people though, honestly.
Ex-
Especially
exactly,
the what is it, the introverted extroverts or the extroverted introverts? However, which way it is.
exactly.
There's you know what I'm trying to say here.
No, I know what you're saying. And I remember I would have problems trying to sleep. My mind be racing, just kind of feeling anxiety, getting home. And I remember I was playing Destiny 2. I used to play a lot of Destiny 2 back in the day.
I have that downloaded. I'm actually going to start playing that with Amaze. He has
Oh,
convinced
that's
me
my
that as
guy.
long as
Yeah.
he is, that's my brother, as long as he is willing to teach me it and have patience with me because I've never played it before, then I am good to go. So we're going to start
Fun,
playing that.
fun game is just overwhelming. But
Yeah.
uh, but I remember I was playing it on my Xbox, and one day I always looked and there was a mixer tab on there, and I never knew what it was. And I was on my Xbox and I hit the tab and I saw people live streaming playing, their various games. And I realized that just kind of watching it helped kind of soothe my anxiety. I was like, hey, this is
Oh,
very peaceful. Yeah, I can relate to this. And it was really, oh, I never seen this game before. And I'm just sitting there just watching, and everything. And that piqued my interest. And then a lot of my friends had moved out of town. And I said, let me just figure this out. Let me just start
mm-hmm.
streaming. And that's really where it started. But it was just really me just trying to help deal with mental just anxiety and just stresses that I was having at the time. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, and that's where it kicked off. And then during COVID is when I really started, okay, this is people are really doing this seriously. And that's when I started really, learning about creating clips
It's
and shorts
funny
and
you
videos.
say COVID because out of all the people I've interviewed, right? So I've been doing this for 34. This is the 30. You're my 34th interview, right? And out of the 34, if you take away the first few interviews that I did that weren't necessarily content creators in the interviews,
Hmm.
um, the rest of the majority of them say that they started or really got interested or knew about creating or doing streaming in general. They found this out around COVID. COVID was such a strange time for all of us where I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of us were drawn to the internet. We couldn't go anywhere, we couldn't do anything, couldn't see our friends. I mean, FaceTime became like the number one way to go ahead and start talking to people where we got so used to that. Now it's like I can't remember the last time I haven't actually video chatted someone where it was strictly a phone call. 90% of the time now I'm answering my phone, I'm doing video chats because that's just what we got used to when we were locked down. We couldn't contact people. We missed that human interaction, so we found other ways to get that human interaction without leaving our homes. And it's so funny to me how out of the 34 interviews that I've done, I would say if you take away what like 5 or 6 from that number, so we're looking at like what is that, 28 people, right?
Hmm.
So if you look out of 28, I want to say like at least 25 of the creators that I've interviewed have said something about around COVID time was the when it really started for them.
I mean,
It's
that was the
strange to
boom.
me. That
But
was.
that
It
was the boom, though,
was.
right? That's when it became lucrative. That getting subs and not especially if you were out of work, you couldn't work. For me, even
Mm-hmm.
for me, because that's one of the reason it made me take it serious. So my DJ gig had shut down. The club I DJ'd at,
Yeah.
nightlife shut down, completely. And one of my best friends, he was like, man, he was already streaming. He was like, you need to really take your streaming serious. You could get I said, "You people make money doing this?" I had no idea. I'm just doing it for fun, basically. And he just kind of showed me like, setting up the really doing overlays and things like that. But it's funny because you realize we take it for granted now how easy it is to get things. But back then, you're trying to get a camera, you're trying to get a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's sold out. You're trying to go on eBay and
Oh
everything's
yeah.
marked up 300%. So that was a crazy time. So I get why so many creators started then during COVID.
Mm-hmm. What did you use as your first setup? Have you always had like a PC, or were you streaming from the console first?
Streaming straight from Xbox to I use the Twitch. Xbox used to have the Mixer app, which changed to Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
And then I learned to use Lightstream. Before I didn't have a gaming PC or anything
Okay.
like that, so I would go to Lightstream because Lightstream is a web-based overlay system and alerts and all that, and it didn't matter what kind of computer you had to use that. So that's where I started at. And then piece by piece, the community subs, I started adding things, adding gaming, adding a laptop. Because when I first really tried to start with a gaming laptop, I used a DJ laptop and that crashed. So that made me, I literally almost quit streaming like 30 days. And when that computer crashed, you're like, look, you're just starting, I'm just not gonna go buy another laptop like that. So
Yeah, I started with a Mac Mini.
wow.
So it's like literally, if you were to compare the Macs, right? So when you look at the
Hmm.
Mac, it's like a giant computer screen and the tower is built into it, basically, right? So if you're
Hmm.
comparing it to like a Windows computer where it's like you have your screens and then you have your tower, your actual computer.
Yeah.
The Mac Mini is like the tower of the Mac. And so it's the base model Mini nonetheless, too. So there's like
Mhm.
nothing on this fucking thing. It's just like the bare bones. And I streamed from that. And so I like to bring it up to chat sometimes when I compare. Like, one of the things I would look at when my stream would start lagging was the CPU. My CPU, and Troa, my mod in chat, is saying it was terrible back then because I would call Troa all the time. Troa's been my mod since literally like my second, third stream tops. And I'm
Oh
talking
wow.
like my 20-minute stream straight from the PS5 before I hooked everything up. um, but I look at the CPU, and my CPU would be, if it was over, what was the lucky number, Troy? I think it was like 26%. If it was over 26%, then I was like, oh shit, I need to start closing some stuff. Like, I couldn't play music after a certain amount of time because like it wouldn't work. It would lag. And now that I got my PC, I got my first ever PC late December, started early January. My CPU hasn't gone over like, I think maybe the highest it's ever been was like 2.3%. And I was running Photoshop and like a bunch of other shit in the background. And that's the highest my CPU has ever ran an OBS of it. And I looked at that compared to how it was my Mac Mini, and I was like,
Yeah.
holy shit, I got an upgrade.
But it makes you going through those struggles. It makes you appreciate where you at more, right?
Oh,
Like you
yeah.
look now, like, man, look where I'm at. I'm pretty sure you didn't have the lavish background back then.
I
Like you had.
didn't. I had like this basic ass room that's now I say that it's my daughter's room now. But it was like this room, and it was because I started streaming right when me and Negan got together, so we were still kind of introducing the kids and the space and kind of figuring out how the living quarters were. And
Yeah.
it's a tiny home. We're moving tomorrow. I'm so excited. So I was running late today. I showed Negan the new house. I got a house for us, and he just saw it for the first time tonight.
Oh wow. Nice. Nice. I was excited.
Yeah, he is.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you. But I had like these like little, I still have some of the curtain lights. They just don't light up anymore because I stopped putting batteries in them. I went from the plug-in ones to the battery operated ones because I thought it'd be a little bit more convenient the way the setup was. But I moved down here. I painted the room black. I put up a cloud wall. I have a Christmas tree that I haven't put away because it just kind of fit with the vibe of it.
I was just about to ask about that.
Yeah, dude, we're from St. Louis. Come on now. You know where I stay at right now, okay?
Yeah,
Like you
yeah,
know that I'm in the fucking ghetto. So
yeah.
I'm not the only one. I'm like positive 98% of my town right now probably still has a Christmas tree up in their house.
At least you repurposed yours correctly, right?
I did, exactly. I repurposed it. It's fine. It works. But it is funny looking at the setup that you have now as a creator versus when you first started. I
I
think
know, right?
I think something too that a lot of newer creators don't realize is that you don't need all the fancy shit to start off though. You can
Yeah,
start off with the bare bones. You and I both just said how we both did that though. Both of us
exactly.
did. And again, a lot of the creators that I've interviewed too, they've all said the same thing. They started with like the bare minimum, like an internet connection, something to stream off of.
That's it.
And some of them don't even have a microphone. Some don't even have a face cam. You know, like you
Exactly.
don't necessarily need all that kind of stuff. Now, if you're a good gamer, you can just sit there and stream your game. You don't have to say two words to anybody. I'm not a good gamer though, so I had to learn how to talk.
Yeah. That's where friends come in handy though. We got one or two friends that'll come hang out. It makes a world of difference.
That's where friends come in handy. That is a very true. I'm very very grateful for my two main mods. I feel like all my other mods are just here for the sword, but my two main mods who actually like come in, they help me, they interact with chat. Jordan and Troa, they're in here now too. And they've been there from the start of it. They've seen me and the growth that I've made, and they know a lot of what I'm able to do or where I'm at now comes from their help. And so I swear to you, the second that I'm able to actually, my number one goal right now is when I'm able to make consistent money with this and off the podcast and stuff, I'm starting to give back to my mods. And those are the first two
Yeah,
that I'm giving back to, without a doubt. 100%. No questions asked, no debates, no ifs,
exactly.
ands, or
Exactly.
buts. They are the very first two that I'm giving anything back to. Because I
Yeah,
wouldn't be here if it weren't for them.
that's
I
true.
wouldn't.
That is true. I think those are the most important stages, right? So when you first start, you have nothing. So the people that support you
Mm-hmm.
from nothing, those are the most important people in that journey because they when you again, I didn't have a face cam when I started, straight from Xbox. So the people that are there for you just because of you genuinely, they're not there for you have all these fancy things, you're doing giveaways, you have all these, amazing setups and alerts and overlays and all that. They're there just because they want to support you. I
Yeah,
think that's really important, but it's, you just got to be that consistency is just hard, when you first start from nothing. And so many people
it
fall off in
is.
their days.
I was pretty consistent with the start of mine, but
Mhm.
I would do the stream. I would do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I would do between the hours of 10 and 2 our time
And the
because I
two.
would be home 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. because
Okay.
I would be
Okay.
home by like 9 from dropping the kids off at school because I have
Mhm.
kids who go out from where we are. They're about 20 minutes. My sons go 20 minutes and 25 minutes this way. My daughter was 25 minutes this way.
Mhm.
So on average, I would spend about 4 hours a day just traveling to and from school with the kids, like drop offs and pickups. So I would have that window of 10 to 2. And then it started, or like on Fridays and Saturdays, I would stream at night. And then it started where me and Negan sat down. He's like, I really think it'd be more beneficial if you just did it, in the evenings. And I was like, well, I have to do it after I tuck them in at night because, like, I'm not, like it's like I can't just sit here and get up and go do mom stuff in the middle of me trying to stream. Now, there are times where I still do that, but
Yeah.
I've established enough of a community and enough repertoire, where I can go ahead and actually step away for 5 minutes to go do some mom things. Like my chat's not gonna disappear. They're not gonna just like unfollow me and bash me all over. Like, I've established that for myself. Do
Yeah, you
you
built that community.
do you
Um,
have any responsibilities like at home where you gotta take care of like work your time around like your streams and stuff?
no, so it's just my dog, but for
Yeah.
me, it's just again juggling the work and because the DJ stuff that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Um, so for me, that's where I have to worry about it, like because I have to make sure I have rest. And that's
Yeah.
important because I only really have 1 day off a week, so really Sunday's my only day off. So in
And
between
here
that
I
time,
am taking up your time on your only day off. That is
no,
crazy.
you're
I'm the
fine. But this is
worst.
no, but this is when it's the best for me to do these type of things. So I have to plan out because I really have to plan out my sleep, my rest, because I know I'm going, especially the weekend hits. So for some people, Friday hits and it's like, hey, I'm
Mm-hmm.
off. Friday hits for me, it's busy because you work a regular job, then I have to stream, and then finish streaming, then I go DJ, then I go
Yeah.
DJ till get home at 3 in the morning, then I got to DJ again at 7:30 in the morning. Then after I do that, I go DJ again Saturday night. Then
Where do
Sunday morning,
you DJ at 7:30 in the morning?
gym
Oh,
F45
that's
gym.
right. Yeah,
Yeah,
tell us about that.
yeah, yeah. So F45 is a functional 45 gym. It's a brand. It kind of became a big thing like 2 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Similar to you would think almost like it's circuit gym training mixed with like CrossFit, and it's a 45-minute session, right? So really it's a high-end gym. I don't know how people do their it's like $200 a month for this thing to be a member. Yeah, it's
Yeah, I'll
ridiculous.
stay
But
overweight,
they
thanks.
offer yeah, but they offer different experiences. Like there's a DJ there on Saturdays, right? So I've been at the one in O'Fallon, Missouri. I've been there for 2 years now. But it's a great
Mm-hmm.
experience. It sucks getting up in the morning DJ Friday night, but it's amazing. Get to provide vibes because I treat it like a club set. I mix, I have fun. Then
Mm-hmm.
of course I keep it clean, but high energy, especially people waking up at the butt crack of dawn on a Saturday to go work out. But it's amazing. It's
Yeah,
been an amazing
that's
experience.
uh, I'm glad it's been an amazing experience for you. I fully believe that there is, Negan actually is one of those people. So I'm getting ready to talk shit on people who wake up at the butt crack of dawn and like have all this energy and stuff. Negan is that person though, because like once he's up and he's moving, he's up. There's no slowing him down. He's fucking go, 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 like all gas pedal, no brakes. Honest to God. And
Wow.
I look at him sometimes and I'm just like, how? Like, there's no way that the higher beings above, whatever anybody believes in, there's no way that they paired Mr. I'm gonna go fucking hike, 17 miles at 6 o'clock in the morning with Little Miss. I can't function like a full adult unless I've had like 3 cups of coffee at minimum by 9 a.m. There's no way. Like, how does that work?
I mean, it's working for you guys
It
some
does.
way.
It
Some
does.
I
Yeah.
don't know how. I think as long as he doesn't make you do that stuff, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I was
That
yelling at
that,
my
that
bot.
yeah.
I was yelling at my camera.
Is your camera moving by the way? Is it?
It is,
Is it?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is it
Mm-hmm.
one of those? What do you call the cameras?
The OBS bot
Oh, you out here
or
living
OBS
lavish, man.
bot or
Living lavish, man.
I actually partnered with them
I
to
saw that.
yeah, we did a giveaway. We're gonna be doing another one too, actually. And his name's Tiny and he argues with me all the time. I have deemed he's male only because it just sounds really fitting.
Oh, you want the camera?
Yeah, the camera. The camera's name is
Oh,
Tiny.
okay.
The camera, it
Oh,
responds
wow.
to me. Like, okay, ready? So I'll say, wait, hold on. Is it voice command that is zoom in? Zoom in? No. Okay, cool. So like I do this, and then he'll zoom in,
Ah.
and then I do it again, and then he zooms out. Sometimes if I'm just talking with my hands, he'll automatically assume that I'm talking to him. So I have to be careful because I'm really a hand talker. I'll say like unlock me. Okay, hold on. Unlock me. All right, cool. He's not listening. Unlock me. Unlock me. Okay, so now I'm moving. He's not following me. And then I say track me. Okay, now he's blinking, so now he's gonna follow me. Right?
Oh,
And then I
see?
can also
Yeah.
say sleep Tiny. Oh my god, like can you just not be temperamental today? Sleep Tiny. Sleep Tiny. I want him to work for you guys and he's just not working. He's so
Well, it
temperamental.
just went off.
I
It
know.
just
So
went off.
he slept. And then I go, hi, Tiny. Hi, Tiny. Hello. Okay. Now he's awake. There we
I
go.
had no idea it could do all of that. That is amazing.
Yes. So this is Tiny. That's how he works. Sometimes he listens to me. Sometimes he tells me to go fuck off. He'll just start tracking me or unlocking me automatically on his own. And if I am not looking at him directly, sometimes he gets a little rebellious. And like if I turn my head a little too much, he'll start just distancing, like start looking up at the ceiling. And there are several, and here we go. Now he's gonna, you know what? That's fine. Don't track me. That's fine. But he will start to look at my ceiling, and then you'll occasionally catch me in stream where all of a sudden I realize that he's not looking at me anymore. And I'll get out of my chair and I'll be like, you know, damn it, and start cussing at him. And you'll see me start slowly peeking my head above the camera, trying to get his attention. And like he's done it several times where he'll peek down just a bit and then like immediately go whoop and look back up like he's messing with me. And I'm like, I swear to you that this is an actual robot and he has a mind of his own. And nobody can convince me otherwise.
That is hilarious. Just from that experience, he seems like it. I thought about looking into those to get one for my dog cam because I always have my dog on stream with me. Yeah. I thought about that. But then I realized that my dog only sleeps the whole time. So it's like, there's no point right now. Maybe I get it for myself, but not the dog. He just lays there.
I would actually. So I was going to ask you, do you do DJ set streams on Kick?
I just started, so I did one last night. So I just started doing IRL streams like a couple months ago, right? So I'm just now incorporating the DJ stream because I never did the DJ streaming on Kick.
Yeah.
So I just started, like I said, I just started a couple months ago. So now I do them usually Friday or Saturday night.
That'd be really cool, actually. I haven't gotten the chance. I have been so MIA on other people's streams for like the last 4 weeks because we've been traveling. We've been getting ready to move. We start the move tomorrow. So I'm hoping here in the next 2 weeks, things are going to start calming down a bit for me. And I've been seriously lacking on being in my friends' streams lately. I'm like, I feel so bad because I'm just like, I used to be really good about sitting at the computer on my laptop and like flipping through the channels. And now I'm just like, everybody's like, where's Sin been at? And then I just show up and they're like, oh my God, we missed you. And I'm just like, hey, sorry, I'm a piece of shit.
I mean, when people understand though, you communicate what's going on.
They do.
So
Yeah.
Understand that.
Yeah.
But you say you're starting to move tomorrow. So when are you going to start taking down that studio there? Because you got a lot going on.
So, you know, here's the thing. To be honest, I don't know. We're trying to plan it out. Because on one hand, I could technically just take it all down tomorrow or after stream tonight and bring it to the new house. But I didn't set the internet up yet, the new house. So I think I'm definitely saving this for the last room to pack, but the first room to unpack.
So
if that makes sense. I am redoing my new studio. We're going to plan out which room is going to be the studio tomorrow. And I have a new design that I'm going with. And I'm actually really excited for it because we are going to officially say goodbye to my winter wonderland. And the cloud wall is leaving. This will be the last week you guys will be seeing the cloud wall. It will be gone.
What about the Christmas tree? Is that staying, or we know?
The Christmas tree, I mean, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to bring it out again around Christmas time. But the Christmas tree is going as well. The only thing they'll be sticking with me is possibly the cat tree because, you know, no cats really sit there. It's Miss Melanie, my little, please Tiny, don't fuck up right now. It's my little crochet sea turtle that I got from Shaka Baby from Loot Fest, which we'll talk about that here in a second. They did crocheted animals and they had their own little vendor set up. They sold out like almost immediately. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah, I saw that. She killed it.
Yeah. So they made me a well, they already had it there. They were there with their husband Xander, and they had a this little sea turtle. It was only one. It's a watermelon sea turtle. And when I came up, I was like, I wanted to buy something from them. And when I did, I like looked immediately. This one was like looking at me, and I was like, I was like, I want this one right here. I was like, how much? Tell me. I'll give you like cash, Venmo, PayPal, however you want it. And so we got back from Loot Fest, and me and Chat, just readjust everything there. Me and Chat, we came up with a name together, and that is Melanie, the watermelon sea turtle.
Melanie, that's nice.
Yeah.
Watermelon sea turtle. Okay, you call her Mel for short. Melanie for short.
Yeah, Melanie, Melanie. Yeah. But yeah, that's my Shaka baby souvenir. So I have Shaka with me
Shaka,
forever.
she posted something on Twitter yesterday that she had made that I was like, oh, that is so dope. I forgot what it was though. It's killing me.
Oh,
She
they
posted.
posted so much shit lately. About like, because what has happened is that crocheting is like their true passion, their love, and so they
Mhm,
tied in crochet with streaming, which is also one of their passions,
mhm.
and did like lessons on here. I'm actually looking at getting Shaka on one of these episodes so we can learn more about them. But they making a lot of stuff. When we went to Loot Fest, they had like a stuffed Andrew, a crocheted Andrew with the
Mhm.
mustache, and then a crocheted
I didn't see that. I
Majin.
didn't see that.
Yeah, they had a crocheted Majin too. Or it was a Majin something. I think it's like Dragon Ball Z tied together, if I'm not mistaken. I can't think of what it is because I'm not a huge Dragon Ball Z person.
Yeah.
Um, I hope I don't get crucified for that later. It's probably gonna happen though. I can already see it. But yeah, I mean, it was so much talent. And
Yeah.
so I'll keep this with me at the new place. This will be with me. I have to have a setup for Melanie. I can't let her not be there. But I also have
Bro,
like what are you gonna say?
so do cats ever? I've never seen a cat in there. Do they ever come in there?
They do. Very rarely though, and it's usually the one cat that hates me the most. And
Wait.
she'll come in there. Her name's Spicy Tuna, and she doesn't. I've tried so hard to get her to love me, and she just won't. I don't know, man.
Cats have a mind of their own,
I've
right?
never had this problem with any. I've never had this problem with any cat my whole life. I've never had this problem. And for some reason, this cat just refuses to love me. I think it's because, well, I don't think, but Negan tells me that
Hmm.
it is because I took her from her family, which I did, but it wasn't as bad as he makes it sound. She was part of, these little feral kitties that were at my mom's house.
Hmm.
And there's so many of them, and I wanted to give one of them a home. And so we did. And Negan's like, well, she will cuddle up to all three of the kids and me. So I think it's because you took her from her home and she doesn't like you. And I
Oh wow,
was
so you're
like,
the only one that she doesn't like.
yes, I am the
Wow, that's
only one. She won't love me.
you two need to go to therapy. I don't know what kind of therapy you have with your pets, but that's
I
what you
don't
guys
know.
should
I
do.
think I should sign us up for a therapy session. On
Do that.
today's episode of My Cat Hates Me, but only me, and loves everybody else in my house.
That should be a podcast. You and the cat
It
sit
should
down
be.
with the cat on Silver Sundays and
I
hash this out.
should. We should do therapy Tuesdays with me and Tuna. Tuna's therapy sessions. Tuna's therapy
That,
Tuesdays, probably. We'll bring her
what
to the
about your
camera.
Wednesday?
Well, my wellness check Wednesday is for people who actually need help, and for me to cry on stream because that's what I do every Wednesday. I just cry. Um, but enough about me. So let's talk more about you. Let's get back to this. So let's talk about conventions because we both have a
Yeah.
lot of shit coming up here. We have a lot of like
Yeah.
huge things happening for us.
Yes. Yes.
Take me
Yes.
through your first convention that you went to,
My
and
first.
then yeah.
Okay. My first convention was last year. It was actually Combo Breakers in Chicago. Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So the guy who's over Combo Breakers is Rick Haydu, who is on the board with Twitch. I think he's well, he used to be, and he's also part of the Evo. So he's one of the directors of Evo that happens once a year. So a buddy of mine who is one of my good friends from St. Louis named Rick the Ruler. You may know him, but he's a producer. He's produced for Rihanna. He got nominated for a Grammy with Rihanna for his
Okay.
song
That
"You." But
yeah, it sounds familiar actually.
yeah, so he's big in the FGC fighting game community. So he told me, he said, "Hey,
We have
two
so
things you
many like gems inside of St. Louis.
we
It's kind
do,
of crazy. It really is. People don't
we
believe me when
do."
I say that I've partied with Nelly at Bomarito. I used to work for
Listen,
them, and we
I
would
was
have our Christmas parties, and Nelly would come there because his son goes to school or went to school with my
yeah,
boss's son. And so like we would do the Christmas parties and I would sit there and do fucking tequila shots with Nelly.
that's dope. I was on an episode of Nellyville when he had the show on BET.
Oh
I was
my
on one of his
God.
episodes.
See,
Yeah, it's funny how
they
the
just don't know. They just don't know, DJ.
exactly,
They just don't know. All right. So
exactly.
anyway, Evo
But yeah,
and
yeah. Yeah, Combo
Mm-hmm.
Burgers was my first one last year. But my friend Rick had told me when he said, if you really want to grow in the gaming community, you got to start going to the festivals. And he
Mm-hmm.
said, you got to get on Twitter. Those are the biggest tips he gave me. He said,
Yeah.
he said, he was telling me, like, you're active on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and all that. He says, a lot of your followers will be there, but he says, if you want to actually talk to industry people and get to know, really communicate with other streamers, he goes,
Mm-hmm.
they really communicate on Twitter because I had a Twitter, but I didn't use it. So
Yes.
I went to Combo Breakers. That was my first one. From Combo Breakers, I had a rollout plan. The next one was DreamHack Atlanta. So went to
Mm-hmm.
DreamHack Atlanta, which was dope because I got the DJ in the VIP room at the after party, which was
Yeah.
I got that gig like 2 days beforehand, right? I didn't.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
they reached out to me they reached out to me on Twitter, and they were like, "Hey, we see you're going to be at DreamHack, and we've been, I've kind of been looking at your stuff online. It's like you're not doing it. There's no drama there. You're just not a really good person. For some reason, I
Mhm.
just can you want to DJ this after party? We're going to pay you." So that worked out. Got to meet some amazing people like
Was
Cupcake.
that at the hipster bar? That's what we're all referring to it as, is the hipster bar.
Not the exactly. There was a place I think they did a bar crawl or something, right? And it wasn't
Not
that.
that one. It was
Mhm.
the night after the bar crawl. So it was that Saturday
No,
night when it was
yeah,
it was like a upstairs and downstairs kind
it
of
wasn't
thing.
upstairs and
And there was
downstairs.
like a
It
little
was
loft on the stairs where the DJ was set up.
yep. So that's where it was. So that was
Okay.
yeah, that was DJ Taylor Senpai, I believe. And then I was upstairs. There was a room upstairs.
Yes.
That's where I was at in that room. There was another bar upstairs on the second floor, and I was in the room there.
See, I didn't even make it all the way over there. I was so upset with the beverages that they had available at that place that I
Really?
didn't stay for. I was with a group, and we were all like carpooling and stuff with the Ubers and stuff. And I was just like, I don't even want to be here because I don't feel good, and I'm not a party person. It's past my
Mhm.
bedtime, And then I met Grandma, and then I was happy again.
Yeah, that was she was the first person that came in the room, and that's how I met her.
hmm
And I was playing Montel. She started dancing, and she said because she was there early. Of course, she wanted to
hmm
get there early, get out. But so for the first like
She did
hour, I
not
had a
get out
friend of
early.
yeah, she did. But like that first hour, I was able to just sit and just talk to her. We really
Yeah.
just talked and built a good relationship. And um, it's funny. So the next con was Loot Fest for me.
hmm
That was my first one, and even with there, um, they reached out to me again, said, "Hey, we want you to DJ open up at Loop Fest for us." I was
Yeah.
like, "That is amazing!" So, I got to do that got to do that as well.
We got to
A
see you
very
right as you were doing your set too. Me and Negan
yeah,
did. Yeah, we were up there.
and I saw you doing you did Sin Sundays, right?
Yeah,
Sundays with
Sunday
Sin there,
sun.
right? Yeah,
We did.
that was
Yeah.
the room that was supposed to be soundproof but wasn't. Yeah,
Yep.
that's where I met a Maze. It was really a dope
Yeah.
experience building because some of those bonds, it's not if you meet people in person, it's a lot different than
Yeah.
just online, right?
Where Negan actually got to see that firsthand because he's not a part of the content creation world. He's always been my support.
Hmm.
When I first started this journey, he thought I was like one of my ADHD hobbies. He didn't know if I was going to keep up with this. I didn't know if I was going to keep up with it. And he said in that interview, actually, I got a lot of compliments on that interview because people were like, it was really cool hearing an outsider's perspective on their initial thoughts of content creators and streamers,
Hmm.
and then coming to one of these conventions and meeting a bunch of us and learning that they were completely wrong about things. Negan even said in there, he's like, you think from an outside looking in that it's just a simple thing of like hitting the go live button and just talking a bunch of nonsense. And then
Hmm.
he's like, there are people here that put their blood, sweat, and tears into this shit to go ahead and grow, to make something of themselves, to make a name for themselves, to make a brand, to represent. And we when we went to Loot Fest, this was my second time seeing Dubs and Maze. And this
Hmm.
is Negan's first time meeting them. And for months,
Hmm.
Negan's heard about them. He has heard my conversations with them. He knows who these people are. But this was his first time meeting them. And instantly, Negan and Dubs hit it off. Where if I needed to find Negan, I went to go look for Dubs. If I needed to find Dubs, I went to go look for Negan. They were like inseparable, and then it was like Shaka would be with me, and then we're looking for their husband Xander, and we're like, well, where's Xander? And then Shaka's like, I think he's with Dubs and Negan. And I was like, okay, that's fair. And then when Maze got there, he got there a little late. His brother had a wedding, and so he missed his
Yeah,
flight because obviously, that's way
of
more
course.
important. And it was a really cool experience for him. He comes in kind of late. We crack jokes because we went to the bar where we had like the 4 beers right in the wristbands. We were there, and we were gonna leave to go somewhere else. And then Dubs was like, he goes, man, Maze wants me to get him a pack of cigarettes, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, well, just go get him a pack. I'm like, Newports. I'm like, just go get a pack. Like, tell the Uber to take you to the gas station. He's like, I don't want to do all that. I'm drunk, blah, blah, blah. I was like, fuck it. I was like, I'll go. He's like, you sure about that? I was like, yes, I'll get Maze. I'll take care of Maze or whatever. And so I did. And, we get to the bar, we're having fun. I'm like, I'm ready to go to bed. Everybody else is still partying. I was like, we're leaving. I'm tired. I'm old. I am a mother. I'm like, I'm tapped out. The next day when we see Maze goes, I knew you got it for me. He's like, I knew Dubs wasn't gonna do it. I knew you were gonna be the one to get it. I was like, of course, But Negan got to meet them, and he realized that, like, for us, this is like when we say family, we genuinely mean that. Like, they're my brothers, and I say that all the time. Yeah. Like, it goes beyond this is how we met with streaming, but it goes beyond that. We have, almost daily phone calls, text messages to each other. We're constantly trying to help each other up. We hold each other accountable and stuff. And I think that's probably one of my, happiest takeaways from streaming. Honestly, one of my happiest takeaways is like the actual, like, real genuine connections that I've made with people, and it's definitely with them specifically.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's one thing when they asked me to DJ at Loop Fest, and he said, it's funny when I found out, because tactical grandma told me that I was DJing. I didn't know. She said I was opening it up. I didn't know. I know that they mentioned me doing that with her stream, and she was like, "Oh, guess what? You're gonna be opening up Loot Fest." I was like, I didn't know that, but the first thing I did was I reached out to Maze, because I was like, it's only right that I play your track. So I got to play the anthem there. I did, and it was funny because I know he came in late at the wedding, because I wanted him to I was gonna give him the mic and perform it like I was planning, but it didn't work out. But at least I did play it, and I recorded and sent it to him.
Yep, I was there too. I got to see you. I was there whenever you opened up with it too. I was there dancing to it, and I was telling him. I told Negan, I was like, "Oh my god," because I couldn't see where you were at first, because like when you walk in, like you're just kind of getting adjusted to the place, and I heard it though. I heard it start playing. I was like, Negan. I was like, this is Mae's song. I was like, this is the kick anthem. And so I just followed the music. I was like, where are they at? Trying to see like where it was playing from. And that's when we came up to the stage and I was seeing you.
Yeah, that's why. But he's a good guy, and I wanted to make sure that I wanted him to be a part of my say. If he wasn't there, I wanted to make sure that he was a part of it. I thought that was important. But I think that also just speaks to his character and his positive energy. And I like looking out and doing things for people that are also putting out positive energy.
Yeah, I think positive energy breeds positive energy. They definitely attract each other. With that, I mean, there's definitely the negatives that come with it, because there are just some people who feed off of that. And if there's not enough negative energy for them to leech onto, they're going to create it for themselves, so they can feel relevant, I think. But I think positivity is always going to take over. It's always going to be superior, Yeah. Absolutely.
And, speaking, and we got Midwest Fest coming up.
Yeah, so tell me about that. You want to talk about Midwest Fest? Because I can talk about mine now, because mine's actually public now, so I can actually discuss it.
So my first question is, did you go last year?
I did not. I did not go to Midwest Fest last year.
I did not either. And I found out about it, and I learned a lot more about it, about Loot Fest, because I found a lot of creators that were going. They went last year. They were telling me about it. So yeah, I got a creator badge. I'm really excited. I kind of been chatting with them a little bit. Just kind of figuring out, hey, what
you been talking to Adrian, or have you been talking? Yep.
Adrian, yeah. So just kind of figuring out, wait, what involvement wise, I can't. So we haven't got there yet, but just I'm just excited to be there. And then, not to mention, I just want to meet other creators that I know they're going to be from all over. Meeting the other creaters from there, and now that I know you're going to be there, like, that's dope.
Yeah. So, Adrian reached out to me about it, and we announced it on. I announced on Twitter and Facebook and to stream already, so I can go ahead and talk about it freely now. But I have my first ever panel at Midwest Fest. So I have like
Congratulations.
a stage, I have a production set up, I have, like Adrian said, anything that I need to let him know to make it happen. So not only will I be streaming live from my third event ever, um, possibly fourth if we can make it to DreamHack as well.
Yeah,
But I'm gonna have like my own segment. I'm a featured panel at the event. So that to
that is
me is like I knew that I wanted to take this far, you know? I knew
yeah,
that I wanted to take it as far as I possibly could. I'm every day I am humbled and grateful and emotional at
yeah.
how quickly I'm getting everything that I am coming for. But to be fair, I did warn everybody on the first of the year that I'm applying pressure constantly
Yeah.
and that I'm not going to stop. And I have three little mouths and Negan's big ass mouth relying on
Mhm.
me. So I can't quit. You know, I'm not going to. And I'm very, very grateful. I do
Yeah.
I do feel like for me personally,
Mhm.
and you can come on this too, because I know you don't just stream here. But for me
Mhm.
personally, I owe a lot of my growth from this platform, from Kick streaming, genuinely. I do owe a lot of it for here, because I kind of put all my eggs into one basket to start.
Mhm.
Like I went full force starting on Kick. I came over from Twitch, and I've been, you know, hitting the gas the entire time. And I think I owe a lot of the growth and the opportunities from this platform for me. How would you say Kick has helped you with your growth?
So it's funny. So like I've streamed on various platforms, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that stood out with Kick, and I noticed it at DreamHack,
Mm-hmm.
after DreamHack, was really the out of all the platforms that there are,
Mm-hmm.
that there's you really feel like with Kick there's a community and a supportive, community, and I saw that,
Mm-hmm.
especially at DreamHack, like I really saw that, especially when you look at content creators like yourself and Amaze, and for me personally, so I was on because originally I was on Kick and I didn't really know, I didn't understand it, I didn't
Yeah.
really, it was relatively new, and then after seeing that community, I was like, well, you know what, let me start, let me start focusing on more on Kick. And again, that has allowed me to meet, even like with Loot Fest. Like I met Nine on Kick, like on
Yeah.
Twitter and Kick. So, the community there is very supportive. And that's the difference and I think even now, because it's still a large platform. It has a lot of creators on there, but still that sense of community and coming together, um, it's helped me, even you saying like you're from
Yeah.
St. Louis, and like if it wasn't for me streaming on Kick, I wouldn't have gotten familiar with you, So I think it's been important in helping me build relationships and meeting new people and growing outside of my comfort zone. Even with the DJ streams, I never DJ stream, but the first place I did Kick.
Yeah.
Like um, it's just it's different. There's a lot of support. There's a lot of support. That's one of the main differences I see with the creators there. The support that is there for the creators. Um, you just don't see that on other platforms.
I
Don't get me
feel
wrong. There's
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say on other platforms, followers are there, but as far as support from other creators, I haven't seen that like I do, like I get from Kick.
I think there is more of a personal connection on Kick
Mhm,
too than other platforms. I feel
mhm.
like you said, like with the support, it's not, and I feel like we're bringing in more viewers. Like it's not just support, like it's not just streamer
Oh
for
yeah,
streamer. We're definitely
yeah.
bringing in more viewers too.
Hmm.
Um, I feel like the connection on here for me is it just feels more of a human interaction with people. There's people. It's not just a number on your screen. There's people here. There's people listening to you. There's people coming to talk to you. You're making the connections of people. Like you're meeting up with your friends that you see with these conventions that are happening for us. And
Yeah.
the other cool thing about Kick is the interaction with staff too.
Hmm.
Um, you'd be surprised, even if they don't comment in your chat or if they haven't yet, you'd be
Hmm.
surprised how many times they've viewed your stream or have been in there or have heard about you. And there are
Hmm.
people that have heard about me that when I went to Atlanta, so my first convention, DreamHack, when I went to Atlanta, I had genuinely, there was one person who was like a huge fan of me. Like even told me like they were a huge fan. That's how they introduced themselves. I was taken aback. I was like, what? You know, I was like, what? You know, like I was like, that doesn't, what? You know, like, and the little booth that was happening, there was like a tiny little wall, like the height of my desk that was like separating the creator hub from the people walking by. They could see a big screen of like your actual stream, and they could see you doing the stream right there. And these people were standing by watching me almost the entire time. So that was pretty cool. But there are also people that like I knew of them, like for instance, Harrison Rogers of F3. He actually like he knew who I was before I even got to introduce myself. He said my name before I even got to say hi, I'm Sin. He was like, "Oh, you're Sin." And I was like, "The fuck?" I was like, how do you know who I am? Like, what? You know, so that was pretty crazy. And Whittle Bears too, like she knew who I was before. I mean, like I was genuinely taken aback, but I was like, what in the heck? I was like, how? You know?
It's a great feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, dude, it's super cool. It's super cool getting to meet everybody and like you learning about who actually knows who you are. And I feel like there's just a huge amount of people on Kick that like just genuinely support each other. Like the support there is fucking, it's phenomenal, honestly.
Yeah, and I see. I know they really making a point to like Andrew's really good about that, right?
Oh yeah, I love Andrew.
Yeah, so I saw him at Loot Fest, and I never met know me, but we had like he was talking to anybody. You go up to him, I mean I talked to him for a good 10-15 minutes. Just
Negan did the same thing, and Negan's not even on the platform, and he was talking to Andrew and shook his hand and like thanked him and was all this stuff, and I was like, "Where'd you go?" And he goes, "Oh, I was talking to Andrew." I was like, What do you mean you're talking to Andrew?" I was like, you don't even work, you don't even go here. Like, what?
But those are the things, you don't get that kind of interaction on a lot of platforms. That's what makes it stand out, like taking the time out to just not only talk to your creators, the big creators, the small creators, and the people who don't even create, just talking to everyone. Those things make the difference, because those are the moments that a lot of people will remember, that they take back.
Yeah, definitely. Are you excited for Midwest Fest?
I am. It's my first time going, and now everyone's really talking about it. I'm really excited, and you know what? I'm happy that I can finally go to one that's only like 4 hours away.
That fucking part, dude. It's like maybe 4 hours from where we are versus traveling like 10.5 hours. Like, this is so cool.
No, so I'm excited. Like having one in Kansas City is just so dope.
Yeah,
and again, I'm really.
Oh, sorry. I was Troa. It is Midwest Fest is in Kansas City, Missouri. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. No, I'm just again just meeting more creators from the area. That the experience. I mean, it's funny because now I'm like, wait, I can actually, if I want to, go back home Sunday instead of staying till Monday because it's only 4 hours. Like those kind of. It just makes a big difference.
Yeah, like we could drive out like literally Friday. Still have time in our day once we get there, and then drive back home Sunday night and not have to wait the next day and book a flight or prepare for traveling. And, like I could actually be a passenger princess this time and not feel bad.
That is, did you? Yeah. So I'm assuming when you went to like Loot Fest, you probably switched off driving duty, probably.
No.
Oh,
no.
Sin, come on.
Negan drove. Literally, we did not switch drivers until we were like maybe an hour away from back home. Like, no, it was oh, where is this stupid place? Was it not Fenton? What's a little bit South Missouri? I can't think. Like, we're going back through. Obviously, we had to drive back through SoCo, but there's like.
Cape. I
don't think I was that far. We weren't too far. We were like maybe 2 hours tops. Gotcha. We were 2 hours from home. That's when I decided to start driving.
Oh my God, we could have lied.
But that wasn't because like I offered several times. Negan was just like, "No, I got it." He's like, "We're good. We pulled over at a truck stop, or not even a truck stop. It was like a rinky-dink gas station. I got me some chicken gizzards, and I was super excited about that. I was like, hell
No,
yeah.
I don't believe I've ever voluntarily eaten chicken gizzards. I know they're big. Like like
Wait,
you know,
you're
my
from
family, they eat
St.
'em.
Louis and you haven't eaten
Yeah.
chicken gizzards? Let me
No,
ask you
I
something. You're getting a plate of spaghetti. What do you have with it?
uh chicken bread, like not chicken gizzards.
No, I'm just asking in general. You get a plate of spaghetti. What's your side with it?
Usually like fried chicken, green beans, something like that. I don't know.
What about the fried catfish, dog?
Oh, you're right. The fried catfish.
I was about to
Yes,
slap you
yes.
through this camera. You are like 30 minutes
Yeah.
from me. I will hop in the car right now. I was just out there. I will go back.
No, yeah, no, I do not. No, fried catfish nuggets, my favorite. So yeah, no,
Yeah,
definitely with the spaghetti.
for people who are starting to riot in the chat, that's a St. Louis thing. It's definitely you get your spaghetti, and you have catfish on the side. You have a little bit of hot sauce, maybe some pickles and onions. But
Yeah.
that's it right there. That's the fucking
Yeah.
move, my guy.
I think, and the further you go south, I think that's just Midwest, and then Southern. That's just a thing. You know?
Yeah,
I think
it's
that's
a
just
staple out here. You can find a little store on almost every single corner, or every
Yeah.
other corner that has fried catfish. Yeah.
But like I said, never like a lot of my family, they love chicken gizzards. I just never really ate them.
Okay, well, we're gonna do an IRL stream after the move, and we're gonna go get gizzards, and you're going to try them on stream with me, and we're going to eat them. You have to.
Oh.
You
I mean,
can't call yourself a St. Louis native and
And
not
not the
have
the
eaten
chicken
chicken gizzards. What?
I mean, I eat the St. Paul sandwiches. You know, I do all that.
Well, I'm
Just to
happy because that's also a St. Louis thing, but like, oh my gosh, I really just
I mean,
want
again,
to,
not
that's it for this podcast. I'm done.
I'm not opposed to, like I said, my family eats them. I just never.
Yeah,
I
you're
never
gonna
eat.
try
People
them.
love gizzards. Yeah, I would try them. People, yeah,
You're
people
gonna
love
you're gonna
gizzards.
try them. Jordan, you're too far into Illinois for this to be a thing. I've been on the border of Illinois and Missouri my whole life, and I've spent more time over in actual St. Louis than anywhere else, and so that's why it's more of a thing for me. But it's also like it's also the areas too. I'm trying to think of how to word this without people thinking that I'm racist, DJ. You know what I'm trying to say. Like, it just depends on the area, okay?
It's definitely more of an urban thing.
Yeah,
where
Jordan, you have lived in areas that are a little bit more suburban, which is why that is not a normal thing for you. Whereas me, I have not lived in the suburban areas, so that's why it's more of a native thing for me.
Yeah,
Exactly,
one day,
Nikki. Exactly.
just look, Sam. Just make sure you get them from a good place, though. Like, I don't want to, this can't be any kind of gizzards now.
No. We're gonna go to a really good place. Actually, I mean, if you're down to do some IRL stuff, there's also a Southern style restaurant off of. Well, I can't think of the road. I know how to get there by heart. I just can't think of the name of the road. It's Kathy's Kitchen, actually.
You know what? I've never eaten there, but the food looks good. I know a lot of people eat there.
She
Like, I
has
haven't eaten there yet.
this seafood mac and cheese that literally
yeah.
makes me want to just die happy.
You're speaking my language now.
And also the best shrimp and grits I've ever had my entire life.
Ooh.
Ever.
Shrimp and grits sounds fire. Shrimp and grits sounds.
Man, I'm telling you what. Oh my God. I don't even want my rallies now. I want to go to Kathy's.
Now the rally fries, you got the rallies. Did you get the strawberry soda? Did you get strawberry?
No, I don't get the strawberry soda. I got
Rallies
me
is
a
the only place I get
Pib.
strawberry soda.
I don't do I'm not a big soda drinker, but if I'm drinking soda, it's always like a Dr. Pepper, the form. Dr. Pepper, Dr. Soda, or whatever they call it, Pib
Dr.
Extra.
Soda?
Yeah,
Yeah, Pib,
the Or Vess, or if there's Vess soda, then obviously
Yeah.
I'm taking Vess over
Oh yeah,
anything.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's pure sugar in a can, but it's
it's
delicious.
amazing.
It's,
What's your favorite Vess?
ooh, I'm gonna have to say fruit punch
I knew it.
or grape. Fruit
I
punch
knew
or grape, but fruit punch probably get picked first.
cream soda all the way. It's
Oh,
okay that
cream
you're
soda's fire.
cream. That's what I'm saying. I could say like my least favorite is probably the pineapple one. I'm not big on like artificial
Yeah,
pineapple.
yeah, I'm not either.
I'm not big on grape either because grape doesn't actually taste like grapes.
Sure.
But I will say cream soda Vess is like my top tier number one. It is like my favorite down to the core.
Yeah, I like a good cream. Don't they have a Dr. Pepper has a cream
I hate
soda
it.
that's pretty. You don't like it?
No.
I thought it was
The
decent.
cream and the strawberry cream one, Jordan in chat, she loves it. I hate it. It tastes so gross to me. But I do love um A&W's cream soda. I do like their
Oh
cream
yeah, yeah.
soda. Yeah.
That's a classic.
That's
That's a
it.
classic.
It is. So let's
Yeah,
let's
and anything.
go
Oh, I'm
ahead.
sorry.
No, you're fine. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say anything fits this too.
Yeah, fits, obviously.
Yeah, got
100%.
to.
Yeah. So I was gonna go ahead and just we were already leading into it. I want to talk more about some St. Louis things, and then we can go ahead and tidy up with like some last words that you have.
Okay.
I was gonna say, what are your thoughts on toasted raviolis?
One of the best things ever on earth. They're amazing. They're
Amen.
delicious.
Amen. For those of you who don't know, it's literally a ravioli and it's deep fried in goodness, and it is amazing. I did not realize that that's like a St. Louis thing either until like maybe 5-10 years ago. I learned that.
Yeah, I can eat those all day. Toast ravioli is just wow.
What's your thought on Provel cheese?
I like it on my emos. I can eat it.
Fair. Do you like the Provel bites from Emos?
I've never had their Provo bites.
Okay, I'm gonna make a list of things that you haven't had that are St. Louis native, and we're gonna go on a IRL stream date, and we're going to just eat a bunch of different food. I think that would be a really good content for us.
Down for it. I am down for it.
Yeah. So they take the Provel cheese that is on your Emo's pizza or on the Emo's salad, and they turn it into like they're like cheese bites, like cheese curds. So it's deep fried little Provel bites, and they are delicious. They're so good.
It sounds like that'd be fire, actually.
I don't eat Provel unless I'm getting something from Emo. So to be fair, I don't really get toasted ravs anywhere else either, because they just don't really hit the same as they do at Emo's. I feel like there's select few places that they're good, but like Emo's is just like, it's like comfort food. You know?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm not a big, like I said, I don't have anything against Provel, but if I'm gonna eat it, it's usually coming from something from Emo. So that's one of my gripes with Jimmy John's. You can only get Provel cheese, and I don't always want Provel cheese on my sandwich.
You know, I forgot Jimmy John's had Provel cheese.
It's all that. There's no option. You get Provel or no cheese.
Really? Is it Provel?
That's it. Yeah.
You're positive?
It's Provel.
It's not provolone?
I don't know. Now you got me second guessing myself.
Can somebody Google
Sure,
it? Can we? I'm fact checking this. What cheese does Jimmy John use? Let's see here. What cheese? Whoops. Does Jimmy John's have? Provolone. Thank you.
Okay. Well, still, it's close enough.
Two very different cheeses, my guy.
It is, but they're very similar when you say them. It's very similar.
When you said it, I was like, wait, do they?
No, you're right. You know, you say that like, no, I'm thinking Provel. No, I'm thinking Provel. Yeah, you're right. But
I know. That's fair. That's fair.
Still, that's why I don't like.
Because typically, if you're getting Provel cheese, I'm fairly did. Okay, hold on. Let me fact check something else. Let's see here about Provel cheese. Right. So Provel cheese it's a St. Louis thing. It's very rare to find it outside of St. Louis. So that's why I was saying for Jimmy John's, because I know Jimmy John's is outside of St. Louis.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was like, well, so yeah, I thought about that. They actually have it where you can get like Provel cheese, like at Schnucks and stuff, For the longest time, though, it was like the only time I ever saw Provel was through emos.
Yeah, that
Because
is
that
not.
was like,
You're
it's
right.
like their thing. But yeah, it was like a St. Louis, like this is our staple. Like this is here in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna get a list together. We're doing chicken gizzards. We're doing Provel bites.
Provo bites.
What else? We need to go to Kathy's. Okay.
Got to go to Kathy's. Yeah.
We got to go to Kathy's. All right, perfect. So we're getting all this together here. I'm planning this all out.
Yeah.
This was going to happen. What are some of your favorite things about St. Louis?
Some of my sports, for one, are sports. Like
Yeah.
Cardinals and Blues. I think having two teams with a rich sports history, especially the Cardinals, like right, like besides the Yankees, the most World Series championships, and at the tradition and the atmosphere around Cardinals baseball is probably unmatched anywhere. So that would definitely have to be one. Number two, actually, I think we have a pretty fair diversity of like music, like as
Yeah.
far as like live music and bands and things there. There's a lot of things to do there. And let me see, what would be third?
Did I
I
say
love.
top three things, or did you just automatically want to give me three?
You said three.
Did I? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't know if you
know.
just say top. You said what? You
I
said what are three
forget.
things you
This
like?
is such an
Yeah, no,
unhinged podcast. Sometimes I'm really
you,
professional. Other times I space the fuck out and I just don't edit any of it.
no, you're
But
good.
continue.
You're good. No, you're good. Three, I think I like the mix of there's so many places you can go here. Like there's different atmospheres, there's different environments, and I like that. It's not just cookie cutter. There's so many different places you can go. And just locally, like you can go to Grafton, you can go to Alton, Illinois. Like you can just you can go to Chesterfield Valley. There's just so many different spaces, and of course you got downtown. There's so many different things there. You got the St. Louis City Stadium. There's just such a diversity of places and environments you can go. That's why people say that they have negative experiences in St. Louis. Like there's so much to St. Louis, so many things you can go and
Yeah,
do. But I would
definitely.
just say that yes, definitely a diversity in things you can do here.
What have you ever been to Fast Eddie's?
Heck yeah, it's been a while, but yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, I've been there
That's
like
a
twice
must
my
do,
entire life. That place is chaotic as hell. I'm never going back.
especially when the weather changes. Like now,
I ain't ever
all
going
the
back.
bikers they just
I'm
merge
retired.
on
I'm
there.
a mother. I ain't doing that shit no more. Mm-mm. No,
Yeah, it's
sir.
probably
No,
been like
ma'am.
7 years since I've been. Yeah, I mean the
Um,
food is cheap. It can be a
yeah,
fun day,
yeah, they have cheap
but
food.
chaotic, like you
You
said.
get drunk fast because it's really easy to lose track of it. The last time I went to Fast Eddie's is like, this is probably like 6 years ago.
Okay.
6.5 maybe. And it was my
Mhm.
friend's birthday. And we went to Fast Eddie's at like, I don't know, when they opened. I was completely trashed by like noon. I was taking a picture by a man's classic car. I was leaned against it taking a picture, and you could tell just how completely trashed I was. And I look back at that picture and I'm like, never again.
Never again.
Won't
Never
do it.
Fast Eddie's. Nah,
I don't even drink like that
it's
anymore. I won't. I drank too much this week already. I'm like, I'm good for like a month. I'm solid. I can't do
yeah.
it anymore.
I think if you go to St. Louis, it's good to experience at least once to kind of go. But yeah,
I think a cool place to go to, speaking of like the diversity, is Grove Street. The lit up part of Grove Street, like where they have like the Grove or whatever they call it, or Tower Grove.
yeah, that's You're talking
Yeah, because they have, first of all, the little banner they have when you get onto the street, and then you have a plethora of bars there. You have some gay bars that are pretty cool to go into, drag shows to go to, a hookah bar to go to, and then you also have like, your standard kind of bar too, and it's a really neat place to go bar hopping, and also there's just an option for everybody. It's like everybody's cup of tea is available there.
Yeah.
I think it's a cool spot to go to.
DJing there, definitely. I got to DJ at the Handlebar there next month, as a matter of
Do
fact.
you? Have you ever
Yeah.
DJ'd at the Oz?
Have I ever DJed at the? No,
I don't even know, is the Oz still a thing anymore? I don't think it is, right? They shut that down, didn't they?
It hasn't been open in a while. I don't know what's going on with it, but yeah, I don't think
It's
it hasn't been
still
open for a while.
there. It's just like I
Yeah,
never see, because I live down the road. So
yeah. I think something happened. Like I think it's coming back. 'Cause I thought someone posted like, "Hey, that they'll be reopening," but I don't know
something
what
probably did
happened.
happen. Probably like a gunfight or something again.
So like,
I
the
mean, it's
odds, like
Soj. Like,
if you
do you
want to
say
party till
Soj or
8
do
in the
you say
morning,
Sauget? How do you pronounce the town?
I say so. I get
Seriously?
yeah.
No, it's Soj.
It's so really yeah. Nah, you're probably right. I just always say so. So
I
that
need
makes sense.
you to go ask other people that you know.
Yeah, I
It's
will.
some
I
people say
will.
Soj, some people say Saj, and then others say Sauget, and I need to know
You
how people
live
pronounce
over there,
it.
so you live closer. I trust your
I've been
call
pronounced.
on
I
that.
mean, I literally was born in Centerville. You know what I mean? It's like I've lived in this
Yeah,
area like
yeah.
my whole life,
Gotcha.
minus a few years here and there of my parents, traveling all around. So,
Hmm.
I've always pronounced it. Yeah, it's I've always pronounced it Soj.
Yeah, I've
But I'm
always
just
said
curious about
Saget.
that. I'm definitely curious about that. Interesting. Interesting. My
Very,
last
very.
question about things in the
Okay.
area. This one is a little bit outside of St. Louis. It's more towards the
Okay.
Illinois side. Have you ever
Mhm.
been to Dairy King?
No, I've driven past it. I know where it is. I've never been there.
So you've been out in the sticks then, so you know where
Oh
it's
yeah,
at. Okay,
yeah. I know where it's
we're
at.
gonna
Yeah.
add that to the list. It's gonna probably be a whole different day, but we're gonna add that to the
Okay.
list.
Derek.
Their
Yeah.
fried green, yeah, their fried green beans are to fucking die for. They're so good. They're
That
so
sounds
good.
good.
Yeah, I love it.
Right. Okay.
And
Okay.
the fountain ski, they put different flavors in it if you want to. I get
Oh
me the
yeah.
blueberry ski. Whew, baby. God. Yeah, that's the other thing.
Yeah.
I only get it
Add that
from
to the
there
list.
though. I don't get it from elsewhere. Occasionally I'll get a bottle of ski.
Hmm.
And by occasional I mean I think I've had like 3 bottles of ski in the last like year tops.
Hmm.
Yeah. Like I'm not yeah.
That's three more than me. So
You haven't had ski before?
nope. Add
Ski
it to the
is from
list.
here too. DJ, what are you
I
doing
know.
with your life? How long have you lived here?
All my life, but there's so much stuff in St. Louis.
Dog.
Like
Oh my
there's so
God.
many things.
All right, I'm making a
There's
list. Provel cheese, gizzard, Provel bites, gizzards, Kathy's, ski, and Dairy King. I got it.
but ski is at Dairy King, right? You said.
Well, it's not just at Dairy King, but yes, the fountain of it is at Dairy King. So we can probably do the
Gotcha.
ski
Yeah.
and Dairy King at the same time.
Gotcha. Okay.
hmm
Okay.
They do make it into a slushy, Nikki. You can have a ski slushy, or you can just do a regular drink. But yes, they offer it there. I'm so excited for this. This is great. As we tidy up here, did you have any questions for me or my community?
So I would say, um, Sandy, you're someone that I've learned and grew a lot of respect for, and
Thank
everything you've
you.
done. Right? You accomplish. You keep pushing. I would just say, um, what do you what do you feel has made you get to where you are? Like what have been those keys that have gotten you where you are right now, and even seeing projecting the other thing, everything else you have coming up, especially like Midwest Fest having your own panel. What were the
hmm
keys to you being in this position?
Honest to God, the number one thing that has helped me do anything that I am doing now, get into any spot of where I'm at right now, and this is going to sound like such a cliche thing to say, right?
Mhm.
It is 100% my support from Negan. 100%. And there have been so many other things, so much other support from other people. I became a part of a stream team, the Lurker Squad. Huge opportunities are there, a lot of growth happening there too. This is not negating anything that anyone has done for me, but I will say the initial support and the continuous support that I have gotten from Negan throughout this journey, from the start of it to where I am right now, is the sole reason I'm able to make those other connections and to continuously grow. He has provided an environment for me and my children where I'm able to be a stay-at-home mom, to focus on my dreams, my aspirations, to sit here and follow through with this podcast. He has believed in me since day one of, even if this was going to be just a hobby and I didn't keep up with it, he was still here supporting me with it. He did not, it didn't faze him. He is honestly like that's that's my anchor right there. He's my anchor of what's keeping me in place. He is definitely there to build me up. And I don't know, man. I sometimes I get emotional talking about him because like he's a good guy, dude. He really, really is. Like through to his fucking core, he's a good guy. And his support has definitely gotten me to where I'm at right now. 100%.
That is amazing. And he doesn't stream, right?
No, he doesn't stream.
Yes.
He plays video games with me. He plays video games on his own. But he goes out and he works, and he works so I don't have to. He's always wanted to provide that for someone. He's always wanted, that's been like his thing. He wanted to provide it where I could work if I wanted to, but I didn't have to. And he's provided that, and he's provided, and then I started this, you know, so.
And you have that option. That is amazing.
Yeah.
I see that. Negan, man.
Yeah, W Negan. That's my baby. I love him so much.
Yeah, we celebrate. We got to celebrate Negan around here, man.
I know.
Making a lot of dreams come true out here.
He does. He makes a lot of dreams come true. That's my man. I'm gonna go kiss him after we're done. I'm gonna give him a big old kiss.
Didn't he bring you the rallies in when we first started?
He did. I haven't even touched it. He brought me rallies.
Who's cutting the onions in here? Who is cutting the onions? My God, that is...
You want to know something that he does actually for me? That's actually really cool.
What's
okay.
that?
So he knows that I've been doing this for 34 weeks, the podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he started to do this on Wednesdays too, because, you know, Wednesdays are still relatively new for me and Tubbsy. But we've had company over and we've traveled, you know, we've been in different scenarios of when it's podcast day. And what he does is he makes sure that he is home during the hours I'm doing the podcast, or that I don't have any kids when I'm doing the podcast. And he keeps the house quiet for me, and he shuts the door to the basement so nobody's coming down. And we had a guest one time. It was his first time coming over of me doing the podcast, because he's been over numerous times. Shout out Robot. We love Robot here. It's one of his online game friends that he actually got to meet in person, who's become a big part of our family. And Robot was in town, and he was going to come downstairs to go switch out his laundry. And I could hear Negan's feet through my headphones. I'm setting up, and he's stopping. He's running quick to the door, and he goes, no. And so I tilt my ear, and I hear, and he goes, you can't go down there. It's podcast day. You can't even bother her. Just give me what you need. I'll go do it for you. He's like, you can't. And he's like, okay, you know, not a problem. And when we traveled and we went to North Carolina, and I did the podcast in my sister-in-law's room, she had like a separate office set up. My brother-in-law was downstairs, and he was cracking jokes about coming. He's like, I can go fuck with you, right? And I was like, before I could even get the words out to just tell him like, no, you know, because I know he's messing with me. He's not really going to. Negan, it like cut me off and was like, absolutely fucking not. He's like, when she steps away, that's her work. You don't mess with her. He's like, I will go get the drill if I have to and bust some kneecaps. So he makes sure that when I have my time to do this, he is there, and it's just like, this is mom's time. This is Sin's time. Leave her the fuck alone. This is her shit. This is her business. This is her brand. Like, let her do her thing. She's working. Don't bother her, or I'm gonna kill you.
I love that. I love that. That is amazing.
Yeah. He's something special. I'm a very, very lucky individual, but he would also tell you that he's a lucky individual too. So I think that's something special that we have. Yeah.
That is. Someone's cutting onions again in here.
I know, man. I get emotional about it too. It's funny.
Rightfully so. That's
yeah.
That's good. But I like the way that you you know, shouted them out like that and spoke on them so endearingly.
I do. And it's funny, the more like I know we've only became acquainted not too long ago, you know, but the more we do, like, you'll notice that if there's one thing people know about me, it's just like they know, like, because a lot of girl streamers go through the whole thing of like a lot of guys in their DMs and stuff, and, you know, trying to hit on them. And so I think I'm one of the very few that don't have that problem, because I make it known. You know, it's not my whole personality, and he doesn't come in here and bother me all the time. Sometimes he's become a bit of the lore in chat lately. But people just know Sin's taken, and we're not going to fuck with her, basically. And so it's
I
pretty cool.
like that.
It's cool. I like it.
That's
It
dope. That's
also
dope.
lets me know that people aren't here just for my tits, because that was a thing for a while. Like being a female streamer, it's like they're just, they're looking for that low cut cleavage. Like, it's it's hard out here, man.
Yeah, I imagine. I imagine, but it's still dope that you're able to stay focused though.
Yeah, I try. I appreciate that. Thank you. So, were there any last comments or words of advice or words of wisdom or things or even a self promo or something that you wanted to leave us with? And then afterwards, I was going to let you plug in, your socials too. But before you plug in your socials, did you want to leave us with any last bits of words of wisdom or advice or something?
And I just want to, you know what? When it comes to content creation, I always tell people like it's a journey, and you can determine your own path, right? I always make it a point to not try to set my goals based on someone else. I think I try to accomplish my own goals, and I try to create my own opportunities. You can't expect someone else to do it. I think like you just gotta. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna focus on it, and if I have no one to support, I'm gonna still do it. But you have Negan, and that's great. Even if having one person,
Yeah,
just keep
definitely.
persevering for it. Try to stay. Basically, try to treat other people right. Do good by people. Sometimes you got to treat people better than they treat you. But just keep pushing, trying to attain those goals. And people, sky is the limit, and that is kind of cliche, but that is really true. Like
It
you're only
is.
limited to you're only limited to how big you can dream. If you can dream, and you really can accomplish it, and it's just about always taking steps, even if it's a small step. I tell people that just take a small step every day. You don't have to try to accomplish a huge goal and get it knocked down in a week. Just think about every little step. It can just be sending out that one email. It could be watching that one stream or learning something, watching that one YouTube video. Just do something small and keep going towards your goal. And then outside of that, I just want to say thank you, saying like what you're doing is important
Thank
to
you.
content creation and streaming. It's amazing watching you succeed. And what you're doing it's so important. It means a lot to creators, to communities, and I'm glad and honored that you invited me on
Aw.
today. It means a lot. It's one of
Yeah.
those things in my career that I'm always going to remember getting, especially being local. Like I love
You're
cheering
so
local
sweet.
people on. So just thank you for everything you're doing. I love seeing you win, and I fully support you and everything you have going on. And
Thank
I'm here for you.
you. Thank you for being on here. Thank you for being a part of it. And I'm glad to be a part of your journey, and I'm glad you're a part of my journey. And I look forward to maybe doing a part 2 again in a few months, see where you're at with the DJing and how many conventions we've been to, where we're at. Maybe
I know.
I'll have my offsite studio by then. You can be one of my first guests there.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, with all that said, where can we find you on your socials? You want to plug those in?
Yeah, sure. Instagram, Twitter, I am DJ Epic. Even Facebook. I still use Facebook.
I do
Facebook.com
too.
is just
I do too.
Facebook.com, DJ Epic. Yeah, and TikTok. That's a weird one. It's I am DEEJAY Epic. So, but again, you can follow me. Just follow me on Kick, because everything's in my bio on Kick.
There
So
you go. Drop them a follow on Kick. You see it there, guys. All right.
I am DJ Epic on Kick. That's it. And everything you need to know is in the bio.
Well, thank you so much for being a part of this, and thank you guys for tuning in to episode 34 of Sundays with Sin.